Hello crafters, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts here with another fabulous Friday card. Today I'm using a set that's in the annual catalog. It was actually carried over from last year that I absolutely love and really haven't given it much justice or played with it. I'm going to be using silhouette scenes. Now you've probably heard me say a couple of times that I'm doing birthday cards for our school. And this plays perfectly into kid-themed cards. There's also an anniversary card in the making, a couples card, an engagement congratulations card. It really has endless possibilities. And I love the sentiments too. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Together's the perfect place to be. Keep dreaming. You inspire me. I've prepped some of the materials already. Actually, my husband prepped some of the materials because he's awesome and helpful that way. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm using my Stamparatus because it's a silhouette stamp and it's a solid stamp. I find to get the best impression and the most consistent impression, using my Stamparatus is probably the best idea. And I'm also just using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So for the first card, I'm also using the Rainbow Glimmer paper. I love it. I'm actually going to be doing two cards, a boy theme and a girl theme, although they could be either. So this is, which way does this go? This is one sheet. Now I cut the center strip out of it. They're 12 by 12 sheets. And they're just so pretty and just the right amount of sparkle. This and Wink of Stella, the only glitter that's allowed in my craft room. I'm also using Magenta Madness cardstock and Granny Apple Green cardstock. So I'm going to do my girl card first. So I use the Stitch Shapes oval and it's just cut out of the center. I'm doing a paper saver for this. And then my piece of glimmer paper is just going to go right over the top. But first, we need to stamp our girl. Okay, now I've already decided pretty much how I'm going to put the card together. So the tree, which is part of the Silhouettes die, is going to be featured on there as well. And I got it cut out in the black just so that I'm just looking for this so that you guys can see everything that's included in the set. I did it in black as well so that it goes with the girl. So here is the Sweet Silhouette die set. So it's got the tree, a little dandelion puff, forever, inspire, and adventure. A little while ago, I posted on my Facebook page a bookmark that I made with inspire and the dandelion, and I loved how it turned out. So what I'm going to be doing with this, I'm actually going to tuck this underneath. So I kind of want to make sure that my girl is stamped close-ish to the top. Now, because I haven't already set up my Stamparatus for this, I'm just going to leave it exactly where I placed it. Move everything else out of the way. And then I'm going to slide her up. I tend to use my grid paper more than once, just because it's economical to do it that way. It does have two magnets, and I actually think, I might actually just be okay with one. So a tip that I learned from another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator was to take your stamp set when you're getting ready to ink it up. So you just make sure that we can see everything, and then flip it open so that it stays flat when you go to ink it. Now you might have to ink it more than once, and you just, like, when you ink it, just tap, 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 tap. I just re-inked my Memento Black, so it's still probably pretty juicy. So I'm just going to put my stamp on, give it a good press. And again, like I said, what I love about the Stamparatus is if you don't get an impression that you love the first time, not crazy about that. So I'm going to ink her up again. And you can just keep adding ink and layering the ink until it's the depth of color that you want it to be. Sorry, hand's a little sore today. And I think maybe one more time just to get her good and inked up. Another tip or trick that I've seen recently is if you or somebody that you know has mobility issues, you can take your stamp block and give it a rub just to make sure that it's got even pressure and just kind of do a circular motion. The other thing that I saw, because this does, or it can scratch up your plate a little bit, get a dry erase marker eraser and do the same thing. All right, I'm fairly happy with how that looks. I'm just going to peel her off. Stick her over here. Okay, so she's done. So we're going to assemble this card and then we're going to get the next one finished. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my tree, my glimmer paper, my girl. I'm going to move this off to the side. Okay. So I did trim the tree just a little bit. There was some branches off to the side that I just gave a little trim to. So I'm just going to put this, flip it over, and I'm just going to put some Stampin' Seal on the branch because I do actually like the way that it looks when the branches are kind of free floating. And I'm going to, whoops, attach my glimmer paper as well, just because I want to make sure that everything is lined up the way that I want it to be lined up. I love this Magenta Madness paper. I'm not usually a fan of pink, but I really like the way it just kind of offsets the glimmer paper. All right. Now, I'm going to put this, line it up with the edge. And then if you wanted to, you can use the glue dots to adhere the rest of the branches. And I just noticed, I'm just going to grab my take your pick tool, and I'm just going to pop out these two little pieces that I noticed that were still attached. All right, done, easy peasy. Okay, now I'm going to bring my girl in, and I'm going to hide the strings of the swing underneath. Okay. Give her a bit of a push up. All right, this actually reminds me of taking a picture of my daughter when she was little and she wanted to touch the sky. Okay. All right, I'm fairly happy with that there. Tap it down, and the sentiment that I've chosen for this card is keep dreaming. And I think I'm going to put it under her legs. I'm just going to bring in my memento again. And keep dreaming. There you go. That one is done. Now we're going to do, I'm calling it a boy card, but in all honesty, the way that it could be a boy or a girl. My daughter loves flying airplanes, so she likes to do tomboyish stuff, and why not? Okay, so I've got Granny Apple Green. I've got the top half, actually. This is what the paper looks like as a whole. So it goes down, it's kind of an ombre-ish rainbow effect. So it goes from the yellow to the pink to the purple to the blue to the green, or the other way around. So I've got Granny Apple Green, which I absolutely love this shade. And I've got a strip of Granny Apple Green here as well. I am going to trim this once I have it stamped, just so that I can get a little bit more of the paper showing. Okay, so I'm going to bring my Stamparatus back. Stick it down with the magnet, and I kind of want him a little bit closer to the edge. Oops. and then ink it up again. And again, you're probably going to have to do it a couple of times just to get good coverage. I also kind of like the distressed look a little bit. So I don't always go for 100% full darkening. And it's a handmade card, so in my mind, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. As long as it's made for the individual and with a little bit of care and attention and thought to the person that it's going to, really, to me, that's all that matters. Okay, I'm going to take the Keep Dreaming off my stamp block. One tip with the stamp stickers, they do come, the stickers are in a sheet and you adhere them to the stamp yourself, pop them out of the plastic. They do tend to be a little sticky, just so that they don't fall off of the stamp block. So what I like to do before I use it for the first time is kind of tap it on the back of my hand, just because it can be super sticky and it can be a little tricky to get off the blocks. And I have heard of people having a bit of a challenge and trying to force it. And by forcing it, it's ripped the foam, which is what makes the Stampin' Up! Stamps have an awesome impression, is the sponginess of the foam. If you do find that your stamp is sticking to the block, just go in gently and stick your finger between the stamp and the block and gently pry it, or take your pick tool and put the spatula end on and then just gently pry it under, and twist and lift, and then you can get your finger under it. All right, and I'm just gonna stamp this guy. Oops. Okay, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Tap, tap, tap. This could be a birthday card. It could be a I'm thinking of you card. It can be just a you got this card for a kid. Okay, and I'm just gonna give it a push. And I'm just going to bring in my Stampin' trimmer. And I'm going to cut it. There, I think looks good. So that's about 3.5 inches. You know what? I think that needs just a little bit of something. So I'm going to bring in some black. So I cut that at 3.5 inches. So I'm going to make it about 1/4 inch bigger. Maybe not quite. Just want to do a tiny little. And this, cut it at 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut this at 2 3/8. Hold on. Let's try that again. I always measure my card, and then before I do my final cut, I make sure that I've actually got it facing the right way, because I've done that way too many times. All right, so they're just a tiny little bit of black run around. And then if you choose to make this card, of course, you can add whatever bling and ribbon and personalization that you want to it. I absolutely love seeing what people do. And actually, one of the things that I want to try is a create and share. I had this idea a couple of days ago and I posted it on my Facebook page. So my idea is that if you're interested, send me an email at prairieskypapercrafts@gmail.com, or you can connect with me through my Facebook page, which I will put in the description for this video as well. You do need to be Canadian to participate in this. But if you would like to, my idea is that I will send you everything to create the front of a card. So the cardstock, the designer paper, any little layers or extra pieces. You can bling it up however you would like. Use your ribbon, cut the pieces that I send you however you would like it cut. And then all you need to do is finish the card or create a scrapbook page. And then actually two requests. My first request is that you post your creation on my Facebook page so everybody who's participating can see this. And my second request is that if you create a card, to mail it to somebody, because I know everybody is craving socialization. Everybody is really kind of feeling stressed right now with the state of the world. So I think that if we can work together and send out some happy mail into the world, that would be an amazing thing. So yeah, if you're interested in participating, just send me an email, prairieskypapercrafts@gmail.com, or you can connect with me on my Facebook page. Don't forget to hit subscribe below if you want to see videos as I'm posting them. So here's our two cards for today. Absolutely love the way they turned out. Let me know what you think down below. And I will see you soon. Have a great day.